How's it going? Welcome back. Today I will be doing a Warbond review. Actually, it's kind of interesting. I decided to do with people have been asking me to do like Warbond or like talk about Warbond stuff like that. So I am going to be reviewing the Warbond Steeled Veterans. Now it doesn't come with any stratagems, so I took whatever I wanted for that, but I took all of my primary, secondary, and grenade, and my booster and my armor are all directly from the Warbond. So Steeled Veteran offers quite a few different things. I will just tell you my build first before we get too far into that, in case you're curious. I have the Dominator as my primary, the Senator as my secondary, the normal Incendiary grenades as my grenade, and then for stratagems, I have the Directional Shield, the Quasar Cannon, and the Orbital Walking Barrage, and Eagle 500 kg Bomb. So, first of all, this is one of my first videos in medium armor. And I gotta say, just this one video back in medium armor made me remember why I don't like it so much. It feels so sluggish. Secondly, I brought Quasar and Directional Shield because I haven't really used it in any of my other videos. I probably would have changed it for like I don't know, some kind of mobility backpack, like jump pack or something. It was alright. Eagle 500 kg bomb and the Orbital Walking Barrage are both very good. I can use them to take a ton of different bot objectives. We found 4 out of our potential 5 side objectives super fast with Detector Tower, Stratagem Jammer. We have the Destroy Ammo Munitions on the other side of the map as well. And then the Mortar Emplacement as well, which we already dealt with. So that's kind of the build. I didn't really have any like synergy between the primary, secondary, and grenades. I kind of just chose the stuff in the Steeled Veterans Warbond to showcase it. There are 2 other primaries that come in the Steeled Veterans Warbond, which is the Breaker Incendiary and the Liberator Concussive. I actually think this Warbond's quite good. It's not bad at all. I think all of the weapons are very usable. I quite like the grenades. I've used them in another video. I used them in my best loadout for Hive Worlds video. The normal incendiaries are pretty nice. They last longer than the impact incendiaries with the fire they make. The Jar Dominator is quite good. I'll talk about it more. Obviously, I decided to use it for this video. I think that the other 2, the Liberator Concussive and the Breaker Incendiary, those are not great on the bot front, but they do shine on the other ones. The Breaker Incendiary is very good for killing Voteless on the squid front, and it's great for a lot of the Terminids. It used to be better because they did alter a little bit how fire damage or how things catch on fire a little while ago, and I haven't really used it since. Just because I've been leveling up other guns. I got them both to 25 a long time ago. The Liberator Concussive does not have any... here I'm like looking over the wall with the third-person camera to see what kind of enemies are around the corner. But, sorry, this video is going to be kind of like... I'm going to mainly try and talk about the Warbond, but I will commentate a little bit when it looks like I'm doing something strange, or I want to just make sure you're following what I'm doing. The Jar Dominator is medium pen. It does 275 damage per hit. So 2 shots in the little in that little like midsection of the Scout Striders. I forget like the term is for it. It's kind of like right where the pelvis would be, I guess, kind of, because it's where the legs meet. 2 shots to there will kill the little Scout Striders or armored Scout Striders. I brought the Quasar for my anti-tank because the build just I just needed stuff. Basically, my rules for this was no stratagems from another Warbond. So that's why I have pretty much all pretty basic stratagems. And I do plan on doing this with other Warbonds as well. I'll talk about that later in the video. But I needed something for anti-tank. Quasar was one of the few things that didn't take a backpack slot, so I ended up taking that. Now here I'm going to use, or at least I'm going to try to use the Senator. It is a sidearm that has heavy pen. You can kill Hulks in 3 shots if you hit their head plate each and every time. Now that guy's doing a kind of weird glitch where he looks away, so I just switched to the Quasar because it will kill anywhere on him. The Senator requires you to be a little more precise. I do use it a couple times throughout the video to do it. That was actually kind of crazy. The shot reflected off the mine and hit that patrol. The Jar Dominator is very good. It's actually probably the most underused weapon that I see out of the Warbond. I see the Liberator Concussive and the Incendiary Breaker occasionally on the bug front. The Jar Dominator, I'd rarely ever see anyone take it. And I find it to be very, very good. I find it to be the most flexible one because you can use it on basically any front. I only survived that because this is medium armor, which is nice. But it staggers Devastators, which is very nice. It will also 3-shot them if you hit their armor plate, but it will 1-shot them if you hit them in the head. But it is very nice with the stagger because these rocket guys, or not rocket guys, sorry, the chainsaw guys that I occasionally have issues with, I can just kind of like unload the mag into them a little bit. I think I have this set up for best ergonomics rather than less recoil, which is why I'm not really mag dumping. I'm trying to be a little more precise. And this does 1-shot to the head all of the Devastators, which is quite nice. It will also, it does enough damage and it's medium pen, so it will also 1-shot Overseers to the head, if I remember correctly. So it is also good on the squid front a little bit. It's pretty bad versus Voteless, kind of. You kind of have to get them in a line because the projectiles will go through. They are jet propelled, which is why the Jar Dominator sits in the special weapons category. So it has no damage fall off at range, but it can be a little unwieldy. Here I don't really want to wait around for the Hell Bomb, so I just drop a 500 kilogram bomb, and then I just drop down and stim. And I also think I took the majority of the Fabricators out for that detector tower, so I just drop an Orbital Walking Barrage in that direction, and I start leaving. Based on how this map was set up, I figured the best way for me to go about this was probably going to be making a very large circle around the map, starting from where I did and with a lot of these side objectives, and then going counterclockwise. So here I think I'm heading back to my resupply just because we've gotten a couple of objectives and we should kind of regroup, refocus. I do take out a couple of the things that are a little better at chasing, such as that, and then I just head over to cover. Now, I'm not normally a big fan of the directional shield on the automatons because I feel like it gets kind of broken by just anything. But its hitbox is larger than your character, but it wasn't that bad. It was all right. I do feel very slow with medium armor. I think I would prefer this with like I don't know, probably like the stamina enhancement booster. However, I wanted to make sure I took the booster from Steeled Veterans, which is flexible reinforcement budget, which I think can be good. I think it is if you have like good players and you're playing very hard missions, I think it's better than the increased reinforcement budget. Because if you've let it get kind of that bad in the first place, where you're at the end and you, like that minute 30 per person can add up to a lot more reinforcements over time. But honestly, if things are going that bad, you're already struggling. But I do see people use this more than the just normal increased reinforcement budget. Here we find our last we found our last side objective. You can shoot the gunships out of the sky with the Dominator. I decided not to because the Quasar is a lot easier to do it with. You can also shoot them out of the sky with the Senator. I also opted not to do that just because the Quasar is 1-shot, whereas the other ones are quite a few. Yeah. The Liberator Concussive is probably the most polarizing weapon out of the Warbond. People either hate it or love it. I thought it was alright. I did max it to level 25 quite a while ago. It's just a little... it's not great as like your main source of damage in a primary. It very much needs like a guard dog or something with it to help it along. But it does keep you quite safe. A lot of people enjoy it versus the Predator strain. It's definitely not bad. in my opinion at least. The Breaker Incendiary, it has gotten worse with the changes to how fire damage was affected, but I still think it's pretty good. It does suffer from the same ammo economy issue that the standard Breaker does, but overall it's not like terrible. Here I'm trying to set up and get into this. I keep shooting the Quasar for that like that back heatsink. It's not really heatsink, but like that back like weak point on the War Striders. But I think if I just shot them in the leg, it would also work. I don't really know why I'm being overly precise. I guess at the time of recording this, I was kind of just like, I don't know. I felt like hitting that, I guess. But yeah, we start moving in on our first sub-main objective. Now, I don't remember anything going like particularly wrong in this mission. I do remember it took a long time to just get around the map because I was just very slow. That's the other problem with the bubble shield, is it will just break when a 500 kg or hell bomb or anything goes off nearby. I knew these guys were weak, so I decided to try and finish them off with the Senator. I was able to get one with a couple shots. I wasn't being as precise as I could be, but the other one's dead in the next 2 shots. And to be honest with you, I don't play on like lava planets that often, so I was pretty unaware of where what I was looking for was. I was kind of just looking around everywhere. I was like, where the hell is this? I didn't really choose to play on a lava planet for any specific reason. Just wanted some more variety, I guess. But kind of is what it is. Now, I was very, very surprised. I threw 2 grenades there, but I did learn during this mission. I never use incendiary grenades versus bots, but during this mission I learned that those incendiary grenades basically wipe an entire patrol, or not patrol, an entire like dropship of Devastators with just one. It won't instant kill them by any means, but the explosive damage combined with the lasting fire damage over time will kill all of them with just 1 grenade, which was huge actually. I thought that was incredible. Here you can see the power of the Jar Dominator. Now suppressive fire against the bots will kind of like worsen their aim, but the Jar Dominator, when you hit the enemy, it prevents them from shooting at you altogether because it staggers them. Super good. It's also like similarly why I think the Jar Dominator is pretty good versus bugs as well. It's just overall super handy because of the stagger. Like you can use it against Predator Strain. I don't really know if I would use it against Predator Strain because it's a little unwieldy for dealing with the pouncers. But you can use it against Predators, and I do believe it'll stagger them as well. It's kind of like a slug shotgun, if I had to compare it to anything. Here, I have no clue what I was looking for. I see it here, and the graphic was gone, but I do finally find it. But it's kind of like a slug shotgun. It has medium pen. It's very good. I'm quite a big supporter of the weapon. I think if I was like looking for a weapon for Rupture Strain that was non-explosive in a primary, I think the Jar Dominator would be up there because of their heads being medium pen requirement, because it'll one-shot the Rupture Strain heads on the warriors. Yeah, quite a good weapon. The Senator, I've used it in a couple of previous videos, I think. Most recently was in a squid video where I used it to shoot down the stingrays. I don't think that's the best use case of it, but it definitely works. It's definitely not the worst. It is good. I think a lot of people compare it to the Talon a lot, which is kind of a mistake. I think they serve different roles. Like when I use the Senator, I use it as kind of like a... Well, I use it a lot on bots, specifically to kill Hulks, because it does make it relatively easy. But I do think it has more use cases than that, as I did use it on the Illuminate for the Stingrays. I also think it can one-tap Overseer heads. I could be wrong. Maybe not. I don't remember. I would have to try it out. I didn't really use it that much in the against Overseers in my more recent squid video on that. Here I keep just using 500 kg to clear the sites before I really go in there and get to work on them. Just because it makes it a lot easier. It's a pretty good stratagem for it. I dodge a lot of the grenades, and then I head in. That War Strider's cannons both got broken by the Eagle 500 KG bomb. And then it just stayed alive somehow. Not quite sure how. I throw the incendiary mine, or not mine, grenade over there, and then I start making my way out. I stem for stamina. I didn't really take any damage. My bubble shield just popped, but I didn't really want to like slow walk out, so I was like, okay, I will use a stem to get out, just because I thought getting ragdolled could end disastrously for me. And then I do get a glimpse of a fabricator on the next objective, and I decide I have enough time to take it out real quick. So I take that out real quick, and then I start heading over there. I will say, with this build specifically, because the armor has like, it has like a prosthetic leg, a robotic leg, and a robotic arm as well. This build kind of had me feeling like Anakin Skywalker right before he becomes Vader. Also, that was really close. I don't recommend doing that at all. Jumping over the lava. I think that's why I think I would prefer a mobility backpack, especially if I was running around in like light armor. It would have made this a lot easier to get around. But thankfully, I didn't die for it. All of my side objectives, except the one I'm coming on now, are done. I still have 2 main objectives and the fortress, and we have well over half our time left. So we're doing pretty good. The build works relatively well. Jar Dominator, pretty strong on the bots. I think this is the front it performs best on. But as I said, you can use it on Illuminant. It is it's good against Overseers, not great against Voteless, probably not the best against Flesh Mobs. You could almost definitely use it against the Stingrays as well. I don't know really how well it would perform against Harvesters, and I really tried. I think it is like it's usable there, but outclassed by other options. I do think it's very good on the bots. I think it's okay versus bugs, but it's in my opinion underused. Like a lot of people don't use it anywhere, which surprises me. As I talked about, Liberator Concussive, it'll shine the most on bugs. Some people find success with it on squids as well. I wouldn't really recommend it for bots. And then the Breaker Incendiary, pretty much the same deal. Shines really well on both Illuminate and bugs. And I think that's all of the weapons in them. The flexible reinforcement budget has its use cases. If you know you're going to be running through reinforcements, but you can have like one player who's very good to like remain kind of an anchor throughout the mission and will stay alive, then I think it definitely outclasses the other reinforcement booster. But outside of that, I think Steeled Veterans is like one of the more solid Warbonds. If you don't have any like pressing need for any of the Warbonds, like you have a lot of the ones that people consider kind of best in slot already, like such as Democratic Detonation or it kind of the other ones that are kind of like people consider mandatory kind of escapes me at the moment. But this one, like it's pretty good if you want to pick up something that has a lot of solid primaries, a really good grenade in it. The secondary is also pretty good. It definitely beats a lot of the other secondaries added, like any of the light pen secondaries are pretty bad. I think the Senator having to compete with the Ultimatum kind of makes people not as psyched about it. But here you can see, if you just aim a little well, and even then I fucking just did not aim it well at all. But you just need 3 headshots, sorry. But you have 6 in the chamber. I got 2 that first time around, and I used another round to finish him off. The Senator will also one-shot bots to the head, but of course I don't use it for that because I'm using the Jar Dominator, so kind of doesn't really matter. I haven't tried the Jar Dominator against the cyborgs, but I imagine it would work pretty well as well because it will one-tap to the head and it should stagger them as well. So the guys you rush would, I forget what they're called, radicals, I guess, I think, would work really well. I haven't used the Senator against the cyborgs either, but kind of is what it is. Here, I think I wanted to start the main objective a little bit, and then I wanted to run over and call an orbital walking barrage to put it on cooldown for the heavy base nearby. I do end up kind of walking into this patrol a little bit. I throw a grenade. I throw 2. I actually think... Oh, I did throw them both right over. One of the armor passive for this armor set is increased throwing range, which was throwing me off a lot. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the armor passive, but I don't really care for armor passives in general. I kind of just dress for the drip. So, you know, personal preference. If you're a big fan of this, if you're a big fan of like how the armors from this set look, you like the prosthetic legs and stuff, then more for you and the Warbond. Kudos. There was no light armor, otherwise I would have used the light armor from the Warbond. So it is what it is. And I do walk right back into this patrol that spawned behind me, but it's honestly not that bad. The Jar Dominator is one of the very strong primaries against the bots, and I had all of the troopers out front, which made it very easy to deal with this this patrol, because they can't call in reinforcements. If you can kill the troopers first, it makes the automaton front way easier. Now, obviously, once I cross back over to this main objective and finally start it, it is going to call for reinforcements anyways, just because of how the objective works. But, you know, it is what it is. At least we could delay it a little bit, so I wasn't dealing with it as I was getting here. We still have, I think, 1 heavy outpost, 1 light outpost, the fortress, and then another main objective just like this. Now, I've heard people say that shooting down dropships isn't the greatest idea. I actually have no clue how true that is. I kind of just went for it regardless. And I think a lot of those survived. I throw a couple grenades in that direction. I didn't really expect them to do much. At this point in the video, I still was not as much of a believer in the grenades as I should have been. I can literally pinpoint the exact moment that changed my mind. But here, like you can see, the Jar Dominator, when used in a panic, it can handle the chainsaw devastators and keep them off you. Here I end up kind of getting a little overwhelmed, and I kind of just have to run away pretty much, because there's just a few too many bots around, and I don't really want to spend my time dying. I tried to throw a grenade, I didn't have any. It is what it is. I'm not fully accepting the fact that... Oh, that was kind of crazy. I will say, this specific mission also showed me just how often the jet-propelled rounds can get reflected around and kind of go wild. Because that got reflected so far back, it went back and hit my own bubble shield. Here you can see I am just... Ooh, that was close. But I was just kind of mag dumping the Jar Dominator, and it killed the Scout Strider behind him. But it was not the greatest for the Berserker. It took off his arm because I was hitting him in the wrong place. If I had hit his actual body, it would have killed him. And here I really wanted to get on there and start the thing for the final sample, but I was kind of unable to. I did get kind of pushed off a little bit as well. And you can see a couple of those rounds are coming back at me, which was not great. But is what it is. I decided I need to deal with this Hulk. This very handily placed rock provided just enough cover for me to focus up on that. And then I ended up taking out those troopers from that patrol coming around the corner, specifically because I didn't want them to call another bot drop. But I don't think it really mattered at this point anyways. That guy came right over that rock, which is kind of crazy, but whatever. At this range and how much shit's going on, I end up just kind of spamming shots because it'll stagger them and prevent them from being a... I do drop a grenade right around that corner, right on top of them. I end up shooting this guy because I think, okay, well, he's causing me an issue there. And the grenade killed all of the shield devastators in front of me. I drop another resupply because I am kind of getting overrun. I think some of this is enemies coming over from... There you go, 3-tap headshot. That is exactly why I recommend the Senator. That was like perfect. All 3 hit, so you just use half the mag, reload real quick, good to go. That that's the ideal scenario. Obviously, you have a couple extra shots just in case. I do end up pushing this because I should be able to get here and get this done before too much bad stuff happens. I do miss one shot, and he calls a bot drop anyways, but it doesn't matter. This was already going to call a bot drop regardless, so it is what it is. I do start trying to kill some more of these guys. There's just a lot of them. I can't tell if this is like people who spawned earlier, if this is another patrol. There's just so many. That's really bad. I just threw a stratagem that bounced and landed directly next to me. That's really bad in terms of all things that could have happened. Because it pushed me out of my nice little trench that I was holding pretty effectively. And now I have to run quite a ways away to stay relatively safe. I do get ragdolled the moment that shield bubble breaks. As I said, I would prefer mobility backpack, but the shield bubble was kind of putting in work in these firefights. Because I think we're 25 minutes in and I have not died once yet. It's pulling its weight. Now see, I throw a grenade here. This is the moment I realize how good this was. Because I throw a second grenade, but these guys I think were already dead. Like, I'm realizing how fast they're dying to the fire, and I'm like, holy shit. The incendiary grenade is actually really, really good against them. And basically what's happening is the incendiary grenade has an explosive damage and then the fire dot after the effect, which is more than enough to kill devastators, especially if they're standing in it, because they're very slow. They don't move out of it very quickly. So this was just very, very good, actually. Basically every time they call the drop in, I should have just been like throwing a grenade at least. There I was one round short of clearing all the enemies that were in front of me. I just needed one more shot into his stomach. That also showcased that the bubble shield does work against melee attacks on the chainsaw guy. And then there we go. We get all those guys. I know that Scout Strider is one shot left, but I do decide to kill that guy in the back because he is the one who can aim around my cover. One tap that guy to the head, put that last shot there, stagger this guy off of me. I'm really just trying to get this done. That is the only thing I need. I stimmed because I was going to try and commit for it, but I immediately get ragdolled. I think my bubble shield came back just to break. At this point, I'm like, okay, good to go. This shit's done. Get me out of here. And we can finally head down and start working on the fortress. We did kind of lose a lot of time on this objective. This took us 9 minutes, I think, which is kind of crazy. I just kept getting pushed off, and it was not a good time. But here, I stim because I'm missing a little bit of health, so I already wanted to stim. But I figure I can also just stim for stamina because I was out of stamina at that point. This is the entire heavy outpost that was just taken out entirely by the Orbital walking barrage. I am a big fan of it. I think it is very similar to the use cases for the Orbital laser, but you can use it more often, which makes it very, very nice. It basically just allows me to ignore a lot of outposts and not really worry about having to go in and clear them manually. So as we come up to the fortress, can you guess what I'm going to call in? Yep, you're right. The Orbital walking barrage, as I am singing its praises. I will say this was a relatively good angle because I can automatically see 4 fabricators already from here. But this cannon turret is causing me an issue. I think that's 2 shots to the Quasar from the front. I called on a second Quasar because I knew what my plan was going to be. Now, thankfully, the bubble shield is keeping me safe here. But I knew what my plan was going to be. Or no, I don't call a second Quasar yet. I call the resupply. But my plan eventually is going to be to call a second Quasar. Dude, the bubble shield is putting in work, keeping me alive. That and the medium armor. It's kind of crazy. I hit the corner of that thing again. But I want to call a second Quasar because you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the fabricators. You can tell there's one there, I got one there, and then there is one to the far left, and then 2 others. Like, there's a lot of fabricators that have a line of sight on right now. I take out that one, so that's 1 out of 6. I should call down the second Quasar in a second. This is part of like the appeal of the Quasar. I start lining up a shot on a second one in just a moment. Alright, this is 2 out of 6. And I switch to the new Quasar. And I decide to go for that one. 3 out of 6. This I should have killed this guy like ages ago. That's just kind of hubris leaving him alive. But we have 3 out of 6 so far. Orbital Walking Barrage did not help me that much. I do get this one as well for 4 out of 6. And I swap back to my last Quasar. I see this coming in, and I drop a thermite, or not a thermite, a Incendiary grenade, because I've realized just how good it is, because it kills all of those guys. And that is like that is surprisingly good in my opinion. I changed to Quasar again to deal with that bunker turret, just because I know it would be taking shots at me as I move across. And there's a lot of enemies coming from the fortress. But anyways, we got 4 out of 6, and that was all with the Quasar. The Orbital Walking Barrage did not do as much as I wanted it to, but it is what it is. It cleared that heavy outpost from me earlier, so hard to complain. I do see this other fabricator here, and I do take it out from here. So this is 5 out of 6 now. There's 1 fabricator left on the fortress, but I decide we are just under 10 minutes left. I should start heading towards the main objective and at least get it started. I am looking over my shoulder pretty constantly though. I want to see if I can get a line of sight on that last fabricator, just because it would be very nice to clear it out before I start on this objective. Here I wasn't sure how many shots it would take to kill him after shooting the rocket, because I wasn't sure if the rocket would damage the pelvis or not. But I do start clearing out this area a little bit. We know bot drops on cooldown because they just called it in the area I left from. Now, I think the rounds go right through them. So that round went right through and then aggroed the factory strider, because it counts as like a near miss on the factory strider, even though it hit my intended target. Yep, I mean here, like, it's really, really good. I just aim kind of roughly where the head is, and if it hits their head, awesome. If not, okay, 2 more shots. Easy day. It is really good. I think Steeled Veterans is one of the better Warbonds. Obviously, I think, you know, what everyone else thinks. I think Democratic Detonation is probably the best Warbond for newer players to get. But I think Steeled Veterans is one of the ones that isn't like one thing in specific is really good. Everything in it is just very solid. And you're not going to like regret getting it. I do think when I got it, I think I bought the Super Citizen Edition upgrade a long time ago, and that was when I got it. So I didn't really go out of my way to get it, but I was very happy that I did get it. I used the Senator quite a lot once I got it. It was like, because I remember I didn't have any other, like, I didn't have the Talon or I didn't have the Ultimatum or anything. So the Senator was like my permanent sidearm on every single front for a very long time. Here I'm literally just trying to like delay the bots long enough for me to get as much of this objective done as possible, but they are calling in like right on top of me. I think I do throw a grenade, but it's not going to help that much against the Hulks, unfortunately. The 500 I think did kill that War Strider that was coming around, or that was just dropped in. I do get kind of pushed off the objective a little bit, which is very unfortunate. I caught a glimpse of that Factory Strider on the far right. I do ping it. That is very unfortunate. I do not want to deal with that shit at all. So I think, okay, I'm getting pushed off. What do I want to do? Well, there is a light outpost nearby, and I still need 1 fabricator on the fortress. So I start heading this way to kill it. But obviously this terrain kind of sucks. I end up having to go around a large amount of rocks to get there. But anyways, this like style of video where I take a whole bunch of things from a Warbond and then talk about what I think about it, what's useful in it, etc., is probably what I'm going to do for every single Warbond for a little bit. Especially because the new one was just announced. I will try to get that video done like as soon as it comes out, but we'll see how feasible that is. I've said in another video, running around the outside of the combat zone is kind of like the best thing you can do sometimes if you're tight on time. And I was very tight on time. As you can see, 6 minutes left, and we still have the rest of the fortress and the rest of the main objective. I ended up using 500 kg for this because there was just so many heavy units here that I felt doing this with the Quasar and the Senator would kind of take forever. I do opt to use the Senator for that Hulk, just because he was already injured by the 500 kilogram bomb, and I know that if that other War Strider survived, I was going to need the Quasar to deal with him. I do get him right over the edge of the Hulk's shoulder, and then I'm able to kill the rest of that Hulk with a Senator. I always keep it reloaded, and I swing wide to avoid that War Strider and subsequent patrol that were coming around the mountain, because I want to head all the way down over to the fortress, because I still need that last Fabricator. Getting a line of sight on it would be pretty ideal. I would just be able to hit it with my Quasar and move on with my life, but I don't think I get that. As you can see, this is like really bad ground to approach the fortress on, just because there's like, I have no elevation. Everything's above the hill. I have to like make it to the top of the hill before I can see pretty much anything. And now I'm pretty sure I know which Fabricators left based on the sheer amount of Fabricators I did earlier. So I call the Orbital Walking Barrage on an angle that I'm like pretty certain will get it. Not gonna lie to you, I'm fairly certain, but I stay in the area just in case I'm wrong. I start looking, I don't see it. I think I do take out this bunker turret with the Quasar, because it will be annoying if I don't. And I didn't really want to remake the run back and forth between there, so I stayed around, made sure that died, and then I start heading back. This one guy left, he is taking a lot of shots. I actually have no clue how that guy survived that many shots. I think I just hit him in multiple different parts of his body, so I was just progressively lowering all the different parts of his body. I did see that sneaky little trooper down there. I just barely got him. I see another patrol to my left, but I'm not worried about it. I stem for stamina because medium armor is incredibly slow, so I felt like I needed to. And I start heading up to this, heading back up to main objective. Now, I do have another heavy outpost left, I believe. I do drop the 500 kg bomb. I knew I could make that throw because of the armor passive, and I was getting a little used to it at this point. I do clear out a couple of those guys, but I knew that the bomb would deal a lot of the damage for it. And now my only goal is to hold this just long enough to get this final sample, get the main objective done, and then I can head up to deal with that last outpost. Because I literally pre-hold the 500 kilogram bomb because I know it's coming. Oh, I have 2 outposts left. I have a small one and a medium or heavy one. It's hard to tell. I call a 500 kilogram bomb over there, which is very similar to what I did earlier. I probably could have gotten away just shooting those. I just realized those were all troopers, but it is what it is. I just make sure I get this done, and then I just run from this bot drop. The bots are really bad at chasing you, so me being in medium armor really doesn't matter that much at all. Yeah. So I see our last. Actually, I think that is. I don't know if that's the last one. That might be extract. No, I think it is the last one. But I see this, and Orbital Walking Barrage is on cooldown. So I think I decide not to go for this because I'm still a little close to where they just called the bot drop in. And I start heading over to the light outpost up in the corner so I can deal with that ahead of time. I do have a line of sight on it right now, about 132 meters away. Easy shot for the Quasar. There's no bullet drop. So I get that done. And now we just have 2.5 minutes, 2.25 of a minute to deal with this. I do shoot that guy, but I think it aggroes everyone else. We have another 45 seconds on the walking barrage, so it is going to be a little bit. We can take out this Fabricator. This will be 1 of 4. I always try and look around just to make sure nothing's coming up on me when I'm charging the Quasar. And I do take out this gunner as well, I think, if I see him. I don't see him at all, but I'm trying to be a little stealthy. I don't really want to get into a huge firefight right at the end. I do see another Fabricator right there, and then I see another one backside as well, and the final one over there. So I have sight lines on all 3 Fabricators right now. I try and call Walking Barrage. It is still not ready. It is right there. Perfect. So that'll get those 2 pretty much guaranteed. And then I should be able. Now, right here, I'm like terrified of getting ragdolled into the lava because it would be pretty disastrous. I wasn't sure if I could make that or not, but thankfully I was very, very close, and I did just barely make it. And I start working on extract. Now, this extract does show red on the map, but I think if this is similar to the one in Cyberstan, ooh, okay, the Quasar actually can't kill Hulks at any angle. It is, it has to be to the body. The reason the recoilless rifle can and this can't is due to overflow damage, whereas this does not have enough damage if you hit their limbs. I grab some of these supplies and then get immediately kicked away, basically. There is a lot of enemies, and I am taking a lot of damage. I step in the lava again. Doing this on a lava planet was not the smartest idea. They call bot drop. There's multiple war striders up. I have 20 seconds left. I'm calling whatever I can in, such as my Eagle 500. And obviously the Orbital Walking Barrage missed one of the fabricators. So, or at least one. We don't actually know yet. I drop a grenade under those. Pretty confident to kill them. And I am not in a great place. I'm like standing in the middle of a ton of bots. This is awful. This is like worst case scenario. So now I'm like, okay, I gotta run. There's shit erupting next to me. If I die at this point, like I lose the full clear, I lose the run. Like it's not great. I do end up running up on the final fabricator right here, which was pretty nice. That was fortuitous. And I am able to just take a quick shot on it. That is the last fabricator. And now, I don't know how the fuck I get over there. There's so much lava between me and there, and the amount of bots. Like, you can see, I'm just barely alive after that. Like, that was kind of insane. I just barely survived that, too. Like, I know I was bitching about medium armor compared to light armor, but God bless. You know what I'm saying? This was, as miserable as it is to run around in, the mere ability to survive those, that shit ain't happening in light armor. I'm gonna tell you that right away. Now, would I be in this situation if I was wearing light armor, or would I be able to like run around faster? That's up to you, the viewer, to decide. I ping my nearest resupplies because I'm like, okay. I almost ran into lava, killing myself because I have no stims. It was very close. I really shouldn't have done this on a lava planet. Like, this was like really stupid. I was like, hey, let's do a lava planet. It'll be nice. It'll be fun. It'll be a change of pace. It'll be like environmental hazards. Yeah. It was kind of rough, not gonna lie to you. But this was fun. This build was fun. I think Steeled Veterans is definitely one of the better Warbonds. I would recommend getting it. Yeah, I mean, I'd recommend getting it. If you have the super credits to spare, I would definitely recommend getting it. All of the primaries are relatively solid. Some of them are little, some of them require different restrictions on the front. I don't know why I threw a grenade there. I think it was, I knew I wanted the stims down here. I end up stimming here, and I think I stim again, just because I knew I was going to run through the fire. Yeah. The grenade was kind of stupid. I guess I just forgot I was using incendiary grenades, but I see the shuttle landing. I do have to make it over this lava pool. So what am I going to do? I'm going to do the same thing I've been doing all game, which is stimming and diving over the lava pools and hoping for the best. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a stupid way to go around things. I do check this area is still red. I look around real quick for any fabricators, but this is the same type of extract that is used on Cyberstan. There are no fabricators there, I don't think. I could be wrong. If someone knows that there are fabricators there and they correct me, then so be it. I missed a fabricator, but it really doesn't affect the full clear in its entirety. I think the red was just the amount of enemies, and honestly, I was not getting that done with the amount of time I had left, to be honest with you. It was a pipe dream to get that done. But overall, full clear, all side objectives, main objectives, outposts done, got to extract. No deaths. Sponsored by medium armor. That shit kept me alive. Yeah. Easy mission. Steeled Veterans. It's very good. The weapons are good. There's no stratagems you need. I mean, like, if you don't like the appeal of any of the weapons in there, you can also get away without it. You're not going to miss, like, anything crazy. Nothing's game-breakingly good. So, kind of up to the user intent. I think they're good. I think they're fun. I've maxed 2 out of the 3 weapons. I maxed the Breaker Incendiary and the Liberator Concussive. I haven't maxed the Dominator yet, but that's just because I don't really play a ton of bots, which I think is where it shines the most. But I probably will eventually. But I'll probably max all my weapons eventually. Overall, it was pretty sick. In the end, I ended up getting 327 kills, no deaths, 35 stims used. A lot of that was at the end to survive the lava. Not gonna lie to you. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. See ya.